we moved our practice at practice this morning due to weather. We just decided to go in the morning, so had a good practice this morning. Got some work done. Getting, second day with the shoulder pads on, so getting a little bit more physical. So overall pleased. To be anxious to get out there tomorrow with full pads and see where we're at and pick up the intensity a little bit, pick up and get the practices a little bit more physical. So starting to see a few bumps and bruises as you would expect, but got some good work in.
How'd the freshmen react to having those pads on?
Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Really had guys did a decent job. Their freshmen are doing some good things.
It looked like Saturday, Mark, when you had some of those young corners in. Cody and Fred were still on the sideline yelling direction to those guys. How do you see the older corners kind of respond to that?
I've seen those guys respond very well, and that's our whole team is a lot like that now. Guys are really, truly in it for each other, and care about each other. And there's still great competition going on right now, but the guys are, they know we're here to get better. We come in these rooms and watch film, and film doesn't lie. So ultimately the best players are going to play, but there's good competition. But again, I think our guys care about each other and they want to win.
You mentioned Jordan the other day. Now that you've been in a little bit of pads anyway for a couple of days, is he still standing out to you as a guy that's...
he did. He did some very good things, and I like the way he's playing. I think he's very talented. He's feeling his way through a few things, but overall playing very well.
Did you see something in him that when you wanted him to enroll early and get going early that made you think he could do this?
Yeah, well, it's twofold. I wanted him to enroll early because he went to my high school, and I know what he would have done the second semester. He needed to get here so we could put a foot, where. So, no, we knew he was a talented guy. I saw him play the state championship game as a junior in Canton, and he really stood out. Played very well. So I've known him for a long time.
Is Chris Westbury doing the things that you expected him to do since you got the pads on?
He is. I like you guys have mentioned, you saw him rotating in there the other day. Right now we're getting some numbers there, but again, I want to see elite players, and that's what as a staff we met on this afternoon and talked about some things, but that's what we need to do as we move forward with camp, is put them in some very tough situations and see who's going to make the competitive plays. You hear me talking about that a lot. In the secondary, you can play corner and not get a whole heck of a lot of action, maybe 3-4 plays a game, but those plays determine whether you win or lose a lot of times, and how many competitive plays are you making, and we'll see. I like what I see so far from the young corners, and we'll see as we progress through camp, who turns out to earn the starting jobs in the playing time. I like what I see, like I said, and I want to keep on putting them in tough positions.
When you say you want to see elite, is Chris one of those guys that you think you're looking at thinking he might have that potential?
Yeah, I hate to get too far out there, too far ahead of that. I'll see as we go forward here. Generally speaking, I like what I see. Yeah.
We brought him up more than Beatty and Jackson, but have you seen some things?
I like those guys equally. I really do. I think Chris may have, some top end that you look for, top end speed that you look for, but I really like the way the other two guys are moving around, as well as Key Beckham. And Key is a guy that much like some of the guys you've heard me talk about, he has those instincts to play inside, move around, the smarts and the instincts to play some nickel and some dime, so we're moving him around a little bit as well.
How often have you ever started a true freshman corner in your...
I'm trying to think. The one that jumps out at me, I started Antoine Kaysen. All he did was start every game for 4 years and win the Thorpe and become a first-round draft pick. So that was nice. But Antoine is a guy I talk a lot about in recruiting, because he came in, and I remember making that decision 2 days before the opener with my brother Mike, saying, let's go with Antoine, and that was a good move. He went through some growing pains, but had a great career.
Chad Scott was saying the other day that if you look at last year, the way JoJo ran in the Wildcat, he can do those things outside of the Wildcat if he'll run that way. How important is it to you guys that he get into some of those things?
Well, I think it's very important. I think he's just, as we mentioned, sometimes he has the patience that you need. He has a little bit more experience, and he has the great energy that you're looking for. So, we'll continue to work with him. He looks good right now. As you know, we have some good other backs. So, the thing is you're going to need all those guys and more throughout a season with how physical it is in this league and the schedule that we have. So, you never know when your number is going to get called. But he's been good. He's been steady so far.
Farrington is a guy who's played a lot of football around here but hasn't been thrust into that #1 spot. Are you seeing maybe him starting to move along and fill that role for you guys?
Yeah, I feel very good. You've heard me talk about him throughout the summer. He's a guy that's played some very good football for us before. He hasn't been counted on to be a starter or too much of a leader because we've had some other guys at his position. But I really like what he does on the field and off. He's been so steady. I just like his demeanor and like the way he goes about his business. He's not one of those overly talkative guys, but he gets the job done. Much like Bud was a lot like that for a while. And so I just like Farrington. I think he's going to be a very good football player for us. Yeah.
Pretty good results with junior college players since you got here. What do you look for when you're seeking those guys out, and what do you kind of expect from those guys this year?
Well, the first thing is just ability. Obviously, that's let's not kid ourselves. We know we need all the other intangibles that you hear me talk about all the time, but you better have the ability. And so that's the first thing. I like the length that we got with these guys, and how explosive they are. It's tough when they get in here late. Much like Ryan Flanagan a year ago. He got in here late, and even missing that summer puts you a little bit behind. But I like what I see right now from the junior college guys, and I think they'll help us. And how quick, I don't know. It's tough, in particular for Almonte to play that position. Again, you've heard me talk about that a lot. I think that position is very difficult. I think just rushing, they've been used to doing that. But all the different drops from playing outside linebacker and just everything you see, it's tough. You need some experience and a lot of reps, and so we'll continue to tinker with where we play him because he's very talented. It's just a matter of getting him in a position to let him be successful, in particular this first year.
Where else could he play?
Well, you can play into the boundary, or you can play to the field at either outside position, or if we get into 4-3, just the end where he's really comfortable at.
Does one or the other in that scheme, depending on which side, outside linebacker, drop more? Or
well, it's a lot of it's an issue with space. So the outside linebacker to the field, our Sam, he's playing in a lot more space, and into the boundary, things can get condensed, as you know, for a good portion of the game. So that's one difference right there.
I know you liked a lot when Kimball Randolph did dime and nickel last year, but where does he fit into the corner next now?
He's battling for a starting position right now at corner. The nice thing is I really feel good about the safety position right now. And again, you've heard me talk about it. I have not been very pleased with that position for the 2 years that I've been here. At times last year we were very good with AJ, but I really like the depth that we're starting to create there. Mike Edwards and Darius are going to be really good football players. Very, very explosive guys. And Marcus and AJ are playing very good right now. They're repping with the ones, and they're both playing very good football, but they're getting pushed. And we've got depth.
Do you
Well,
like
the coverage
having
that
the
you
fact
saw-
that you have a guy that looks like he's as physically ready as Walker is coming out of high school, and you don't have to throw him out there?
That's what we were talking about up there. It's exactly right. Because in years past he would be a starter because he's that talented, he's that good, he's big, and we just don't need him as much right now. That doesn't mean he won't play or work his way in there. He may, but he needs to continue to work a little bit. And things are different. I mean, for those guys, just just how fast you have to play. He's used to that position. Sometimes at safety, you're out there oozing. You're just moving around and cruising, and that's not going to get it done. But I love his ability. I love the way he's practicing. I think he's going to be an exceptional player. I really do. And it is nice to not just have to throw him in there right now until he's completely ready.
with adequate reps as time goes on, and what you saw the other day, that's what I saw the other day, I guess, with the coverage, the breakups that you were getting from the defensive backs. It's appeared to be a little more than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I hope so. I know, you know, last year, as you know, well, my good jokes that I had about all the ball drills that I taught them in the offseason. You tend to make more pass breakups and more interceptions when you get better guys. You know,
Right.
put them in position. We need to continue to put them in position, but they got to go make plays. And you know, that one-handed grab that AJ had last year, I'm working on that again right now. So, but no, I think they're getting better. We're getting talented guys. We're getting depth. You know, just getting more competitive across the board. I think that's where we've got to continue to work and get. And you know, it's no secret. I want to keep on finding that in particular at corner. I think we're getting some guys across the board.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, a couple things you guys will probably hear. We did have a couple injury scares this morning. I'm pleased. I don't think anything will be major, but boom, had a knee injury. It should be a sprain. Should not be, you know, too many days. I'm not sure, but I just want to get that out there before you all start catching things.
Anybody else? You said a couple.
And then Jeff Bedette had an ankle, but everything came back negative. I don't think it's anything major.
How much do you gasp? I mean, for you, when two of your big time playmakers like that.
Well, you know, it's concerning. You know, anytime I'm good with, not good with, but I understand the game. You know, we putting on pads. We need to get physical. We're going to practice physical. We're going to have a good physical practice tomorrow and the following day on Wednesday. But you know, you're going to get some injuries. Unfortunately, that goes with the game. I get a little bit perturbed when things can be avoided. That's what bothers me sometimes. When you know, we need to continue to be understand how to practice. You know, there's times to be physical, and there's times when we need to be smart and protect each other, and that's what, you know, we're still learning in that area a little bit. But nothing major. I mean, we'll be fine.
Considering you've got better depth than you've had your first 2 years, can you be a little more physical in practice than you've been in the past?
I think you can. You know, we needed to just to function, just to get better. But I think you know, I think we get more quality now, and you know, and that's what we need to continue to push in that area. It's a physical league. There's no getting around it. You know, and that's, you know, just something that's part of the game. So we'll continue to practice at our normal, you know, the schedule that I had planned out throughout the summer, and we'll continue to follow that.